Kelce's dropping LBs, reportedly down 25 pounds right now. And you could say, hey, Kelce slowed down Smitty last year, but I'm getting real excited about this entire Kansas City Chief operation walking into 2025. I'm drafting Mahomes like crazy, like clockwork. Even in best ball Underdog fantasy promo code Smitty, I'm scooping up Mahomes as my bully QB almost every single draft because he goes in round 6 and round 7. In your grandma league, in your work league, in your Aunt Edna's league, Mahomes might go 5 or 6. You're gonna have to look at your ADP rank, the pre-draft rank, the suggested rank to know what you can get away with in your format. But Mahomes is dropping LBs, getting fit, shaved his head, and looks ripped. He's always had the dad bod. People make fun of Mahomes all the time. The dad bod. You know, he doesn't look like an elite quarterback, but he plays like one, obviously. And people are so down on Mahomes this year, not looking at the big picture, the greater picture, that he probably has a top 4 pass catching room in the National Football League, something he didn't have all last year. I'm drafting Rashee Rice like crazy. I'm drafting Patrick Mahomes almost automatic at his new cost of entry. But Smitty, he let me down last year, Smitty. He let me down. Same thing people are saying about Breece Hall. I can't trust Breece Hall anymore. He let me down last year. They're not going in the same territory ADP-wise. Breece Hall doesn't go in the top 10 overall. How's he going to let you down at 4.1? It's the same argument here. Mahomes, you're not paying round 4 or 5 value for. You're getting him around 6 or round 7. How is he going to let you down there? How's Kelce going to let you down in round 8, 9, 10, depending on where you're drafting? Rashee Rice is the only player of the Kansas City Chiefs players that's climbing to a territory where you could maybe say, I don't know about this, because he's going around the 2-3 turn. But Rice is looking fantastic on the field, 100%, ready to go, just like we told you. The Fantasy Football Show, the Kansas City Chiefs Revenge Tour show begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Look, you can either be on this train or not be on this train. There's only so much I can do. And I know a lot of you are hearing a lot of regurgitation in the industry about Mahomes. He hasn't been a top quarterback for so long, you can't expect it. Brady went through the same thing. Brady was amazing. Then he had a couple mediocre years. Then he came back to form and was a fantasy football monster again. I don't want to hear that the Chiefs are incapable of being like that. I don't want to hear that Mahomes can't do what Brady did, which was kind of vanish for a little bit of time and then come back to fantasy football domination and relevance. It happens all the time. And if you can't see straight, if you can't see through the proper cleaned lens that tells you that this man, Patrick Mahomes, had a skeleton crew catching the football from him in 2024. If you can't see that Kelce wasn't really on his A game, he dropped 25 LBs. We'll see if that ends up being a good thing or a bad thing. Noah Gray would step up. Noah Gray's always played well whenever they've called upon him. So Gray would step up in tremendous fashion anyway. But Kelce dropping 25 LBs made it really known this is his last go, his last run. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to finish on top. He slimmed down 25 LBs. He's going to be a lot quicker. He's going to probably do pretty well unless he gets injured. Rashee Rice looks phenomenal, was on track to be a top 5 wide receiver like we predicted in 2024, and he was playing the part until he got injured, but he looked fantastic.
Let him cook.
Rice is back, and he looks amazing on the field. He had an exterior knee injury. Everyone talks about his knee as if it's some ACL reconstruction. It's not. and he's looking already 100%. So that's already in the rear view. I don't want to hear about Rice's knee injury. He looks completely healthy. Worthy's another year, seasoned, and he wasn't exactly great in the beginning part of the year, and he became fantastic at the end of the season. In fact, if you take Worthy's last 5 games and extrapolate his last 5 played games, not cherry picking, there's a game in between there where he didn't play very, very well. I'm not taking it out. We take his 3 playoff games and his 2 regular season played games, all 5 of his last played games, and extrapolate those 5 games across a 17-game stretch, it would be wide receiver 2. That's how good Worthy played. Rice was on top 5 mode before he got injured. Mahomes was going to ball. The Chiefs had to redirect their resources, turn the flux capacitor upside down, and redirect power into a different location of the team and roster last year. And they got it done. They did it. They brilliantly did it. But it was a different type of season we've seen the Chiefs play. And everyone wants to pretend the Chiefs can't get back to being what they once were, that they can't be this conglomerate of fantasy football and NFL production. They think that the Chiefs' new style is going to stay the same. They're just going to try and slowly win games. They're not going to be electric on the field. Let me tell you something. This team had to survive last year, and they did. Andy Reid is a morphing monster. Andy Reid used to create running back monsters, and now he doesn't. Could that change? Could he get back to making Pacheco a very, very big force on the ground, or does Brashard Smith rise up?
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yep. Mid-season monster Brashard Smith. Make sure you've got him on your radar. There he is. Brashard Smith. Look at him. Look at him. Can't wait. Can't wait to see this kid in action. They've added Brashard Smith, one of the better receiving backs in the 2025 NFL draft class, converted wide receiver. They have Pacheco healthy. They have Kelce, 25 lbs lighter and healthy. Rashee Rice, healthy. Worthy, seasoned. Mahomes, slimmed down, bulked up, focused. Mahomes says he took the loss of not having that triple win, that three-peat, so hard that he's changing everything about his approach, and he's hungry. And if you think a hungry Mahomes is a pushover Mahomes, you just hate Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and you can't let go of your personal vendetta against the Swift train and the way that the NFL loves the Kansas City Chiefs, and you just have a vendetta that you can't let go, and you can't think objectively. If you think that Mahomes can't return to glory, you don't know how to adjust and adapt. If you think that the Chiefs and Andy Reid are this slimmed down, let's just not score points and barely win games type of machine, you don't know how to adjust and adapt. If you can't let go that Patrick Mahomes hasn't been a glorious quarterback in fantasy football scoring for the last handful of years, these 2 years, you don't adjust and adapt very well. If you think that he, who was QB1, QB8, QB3, QB4, QB1, can't get back to these green numbers and amazing plays versus the 2 most recent seasons where he's still a top 10 quarterback, 7 and 10 and 8, never been not a top 10 quarterback. You don't know how to adjust and adapt, my friend. And I'm here to try and teach you how to adjust and adapt so you don't get left behind in 2025, because you're regurgitating like a parrot what you hear about Patty Mahomes and how everyone else keeps telling you.
Hello.
They just keep telling you in the industry over and over, Smitty.
He
Smitty,
saw it on another channel. He's a repeating Roger.
Repeat it, Smitty. Tell the people what you heard on the other channel about how Patrick Mahomes, he hasn't played well for 2 years, so he's not probably going to be relevant anymore. Andy Reid doesn't know how to change and doesn't know how to do anything. Andy Reid doesn't have high-octane offenses anymore. Patrick Mahomes, this right here is permanent. It got put in cement. 1, 3, 4, 1, 7, and 10. It's cemented in. This is it. There's no change. There's no rebound from that. Drop the parrot emoji if you're tired of hearing that Patrick Mahomes can't return to glory he was cemented into for years. You know, if someone doesn't see Rashee Rice worthy, Brashard Smith, a trimmed down Travis Kelce with Noah Gray waiting in the wings if need be, and a bulked up dad bod, say goodbye to the dad bod's gone. Patrick Mahomes, if you don't see fantasy football production there, I can't help you, nor do I want to help you. I don't even want to help you. If you are dead set against this situation and you can't see it at all, you can't even see a glimmer of hope, I don't want to help you. Spread the word. Tell everybody you know. Be a parent. Tell everyone you know. Mahomes is going to be on fire this year. His determination, his grit, and his skill. And this team will look different. They always morph. Andy Reid is a chameleon. Andy Reid was producing running back production like no other in the NFL. Year after year after year. Found Mahomes. Tyreek Hill shifted into this pass-heavy conglomerate. And then Tyreek Hill left. They kept winning. They watered down the offense a little bit over the last 2 years. They tried to repair that. It was supposed to be 1 year watered down year. But then Rice got hurt, and Worthy wasn't ready yet, and Kelce wasn't in shape. And yes, because of that, they had a second watered down year. But people are looking at 2 watered down years of the KC Chiefs, and they think they've got a pattern. Well, I've got a pattern for you. The pattern is called Andy Reid morphs like a monster. The pattern is you see a Worthy, a Rice, a Kelce, and a bulked up Mahomes, and you don't run. That pattern is laughter. That pattern is taking laps.
Take a big lap. We don't need your hating ass coming back now. Take a big lap. Take one and you don't come back.
And the hatred's going to come. You know why? Because Double Down Donnies don't take things like this well. Double Down Donnies, they have to come in and say, oh, this can't be. You know, I've already said negative things and put them on record, and I'm not an adjust and adapt technician. So I need to, Smitty, look at 2 Mahomes. 2 Mahomes at the same time. That's how big of a season he's in for. It's quite funny, to be honest. How many people can't let go of 1 year versus another year? They have to say, last year I doubted Patrick Mahomes. I have to doubt him now, or I look like a backtracking Bobby. Slow draft strategy, 1.9 position in a 12-team league redraft. Nick, I look. There's the Scott Fishbowl scoring is not something that I've fully dug into yet. I know that there's a bunch of flex. You can go to QB if you want, but it's a lot of flex positions. But yeah, I don't know yet what to tell you on a 1.9 Scott Fishbowl draft. But I would say in general from the 1.9. I'm trying to get Neighbors. I'm trying to get Genty. If Genty's there, I take Genty. If this is a redraft home league, a mom and pop draft, I don't know if you're saying this is a Scott Fishbowl draft by that, but if it's a home league and it's running back heavy, I'm taking Genty. I'm taking an RB. I'm trying to take an RB. If this is a league where it's heavy wide receiver, then you typically want to make sure you don't get screwed out of wide receivers. But drafting against traffic, drafting with traffic really depends on who's on the board. I could give you a strategy, but you got to go with the best player available. Cementing in, go raw RB, wide receiver, go wide receiver, RB. That's the most moronic way to approach a draft, because you're basically, it's like me saying, hey, go move 7 and 8, make this move in chess. This without knowing what the board is. I want on your 7th and 8th move, I want you to move your pawn or your queen or whatever to these locations. That's what it's telling somebody to go running back, or wide receiver, running back is the same thing as telling somebody to play chess like that. You don't know what the board looks like, but I'd say in general, balance, Nick. If you can come out with a running back, wide receiver, or a wide receiver, running back, balance, Nick. Balance will be your guide. And let me just give you a little bit of a look-see at a team that we drafted last night on Underdog. Look at this. I took Genty at pick 11, and I took London at pick 14. This team is one of the best Underdog, best ball rosters I've drafted. Mahomes, Penix, Ward, Genty, Kyron, RJ Harvey, Trey Henderson, Drake London, Travis Hunter. We went light wide receiver 3. You got to pick a place to have a hole if you're going to stack like this. And then Kelce, Andrews, and Likely stacked together. Now, best ball is different than and that's Underdog, code Smitty. If you want to draft with us tonight, make sure you hit the link that I'm dropping in the live chat right now. The link's in the description of the video, and code Smitty gets it done as well. You'll need to be signed up and ready to draft with us tonight, so do that now. I'll pin said link in the chat right this very second. There it is. So, Nick, so much depends on the board, my boy. It just really does. There's no way to give you a set plan. Balance is always the best way to go. Running back, wide receiver, running back. If best player available allows it, because then you got freedom in rounds 3 and 4, and you don't have to, get crazy. Alex says, is it reach time to take Rashee at the 1-2 turn? Seriously believe he returns to first round value at the end of the year. I think that's where his ADP is going. I think in non-best ball, it's not that high yet, so you can get him in the mid-third to even top of 4 sometimes. But in best ball, Underdog, code Smitty, best ball, again, click that link. I just pinned it. The link's in the description of every video, code Smitty. If you want to draft tonight, hit that link now so you're ready to go. I think that because it's such a wide receiver hungry environment, you're looking at Rashee Rice going at the 2-3 turn now. He's at 25, 26, 27 overall. I don't think it's too early in best ball to take him there. Would I take him in, I don't know, would I take him in a non-best ball draft there? I don't think so yet, because you don't have to. Not that he can't earn that, but he's a good third drafted player at the end of the day. I'm not worried about it at all. But yeah, I've been taking him at the 2-3 turn in best ball. I did it just yesterday, and I felt good about it. You get Mahomes in 6-7, you get Kelce in 8, you get Rashee Rice in. Again, stacking like that is not a good idea in non-best ball. In best ball, it's a great idea, especially when you're getting a lot of these assets later in the draft, and you can surround them with 1st and 2nd and 4th and 5th round talent. The problem in stacking is when you use early draft picks on all those players, and then you have no 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round talents to surround that team with. You know what I mean? Like if you have if you take Jamar Chase in round 1, you take Joe Burrow in round 4, and you take T. Higgins in round 2 or round 3. You don't have a lot of talent to surround that Bengal team with in case the Bengals have a bad game. You take Mahomes in 6-7, Kelce in 8-9, and you take Rashee Rice in 3. You've got no investment other than the 3rd rounder, and you can wrap a 1st, a 2nd, and a 4th rounder around that, and that's how you build a glorious stack, is to have that supporting cast. Let's see here. 2-3 turn. Yeah, thank you, Alec, for that. Not going to be here long. I just want to say appreciate you all. And we'll be back tonight for another show. This is a quick one. Mahomes, Kelce, Rashee Rice, Worthy, Pacheco, Brashard Smith. This is a squad. Okay, so to the moon. See you all tonight. I'll be back. Don't let other people influence you out of these Kansas City Chiefs players. You can build a complete monster with the KC Chiefs squad at the cost of entry and ADPs. See you all tonight. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live additionally when big news breaks, and live most midnights, including tonight at midnight Eastern, to draft. See you all later.